Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well. So, off the back, right? Night removed, the morning after, the day after. The loss to Flamengo, where Chelsea lost 3-1 to the Brazilian league leaders. And I'm not just saying that just to make them sound fantastic or big, but they are. That's the reality. There's also another case of being real at the moment, and another case of reality that we have to acknowledge here, and that is about a certain player. Now, don't forget, later on, there is going to be video number 2. We'll see what else transpires in the day, but without further ado, let's jump right into the latest on Nicolas Jackson. Because yesterday, in my review, and if you haven't seen it, you can go and catch it out. If you've been living in a cave, no problem. Go and have a look and see what I had to say. I stick to it, and like I said in that video, I am completely and utterly done with Nico Jackson. All trust is broken in terms of his mentality, how he holds himself in very pressurizing situations, and it's all at the detriment of the football club and the team. And we can't have that. Sorry, there has to be a line. There has to be a line. If you don't stand for that, you stand on nothing. And we can't just allow anything to just go down, anything to happen, despite his apology. He put out a public apology. He didn't do that against Newcastle, though, but he feels like it's right now. That's only damage limitation. I don't see that as an apology of oh my God, I'm so sorry, like even if he says it. But the actions prove more than words. And enough is enough. We've raised this issue about him being not a bad person. I don't believe he's a bad person. I don't think he's a genuinely just purely chaotic individual, but I don't think he has the right mentality in situations where he has to carry himself in a certain way at the level of a top football club. I don't think he's ready, and I think that shows, whether it's immaturity or whether it's lack of control or whatever. But this needs to end. Done. And for me, there's been too many examples, and the latest 2 examples, including yesterday, is the icing on the cake to tell us this ain't going to work. 2 seasons in, then we saw what happened against Newcastle when we really needed everything to go our way in that moment. Thankfully, we pulled it through, and that was without Nico in the end. And yesterday, when we do go 2-1 down, and then he pulls off something like that to put the entire team in a situation. Now, I argue he should have been brought on in the first place, but that's on Maresca. However, since yesterday, we now have some news. What has gone down? Well, let me fill you in the cliff notes. Here's the latest coming out of Italy. Juventus have held informal explorative contacts with Nicolas Jackson's camp. Now, that's from Luca Bendoni of Sky Sports in Italy, and Di Marzio. Of course, we know what Di Marzio is about in Italy too. We have Napoli is also considering Nicolas Jackson. That's another club. We have Patty telling us, as per Luca Bendoni, Jackson is in Juventus's radar. Napoli are interested in Chalobah, Kepa, and now Jackson. Madueke has an interest received this week, so an interest in regards to Madueke too. Here's the full thing. Nicolas Jackson's Chelsea future is in doubt. Juventus have probed him and has already made inquiries. Napoli are also interested but are prioritizing working on Younes and Luca. Juventus are currently ahead of Napoli. And we have the confirmation from Gianluca Di Marzio right there, how Juventus have held explorative talks with Nicolas Jackson's camp. And Napoli are also interested. I'm very happy to hear this. If this is the case, I'm very happy to hear this. Fantastic. Cool. Because we need to sell. End of story. What are we going to keep Nicolas Jackson for? And if we take it all the way back, right? We saw what he was about. People said, be patient. Wait, it's only his first season. No one's first season's good. We're going to see in his second season. Okay, we'll see his second season. We saw his second season. The same thing. But this time, with a discipline issue. This time, with a lack of mental clarity. With a lack of discipline. With all these issues popping up. And then it all comes at the end of his second season. We saw Newcastle. And now you'd think he would have learned from that. He apologized to his teammates. We know that. And then you go and repeat it in the Club World Cup. That means your word doesn't mean anything, my friend. So that's a message for the people that are just going to let this one slide. Those are the sort of people that I honestly believe would allow their missus to go over with another guy and still be cool with it. I'm sorry, that's how I see it. You're willing to let this one slide. How many are you willing to let slide? Where's your line? I'm not going to wait and find out what the third time and the fourth time and the fifth time is going to be like. No, I'm going to stop it here. That's me. So see you later. We're acting like Nicolas Jackson's the only striker on earth. No, brother. There's other strikers out there. Go and get one top striker to go and accompany Liam Delap. And even keep Margu as the third striker if we have to. No problem. He understands his role. He's not, I think, deluded enough to think he's going to walk in as number one. I think that is actually a decent dynamic that we could have for the upcoming season. But Nicolas Jackson, see you later. Thank you very much. We've tried. It has not worked. We've seen the issues, and now we still see big issues. We can't go any further. It's as simple as that. So, Juventus, Napoli, 2 clubs interested. Antonio Conte, you are willing to suffer? Fantastic, my friend. Thank you for coming in to save and take the suffering off of us in this regard. That would be much appreciated. But if Juventus and Napoli can kick off a little bit of a bidding war here, we might end up overall winners here. If we got 2 teams interested and they're willing to try and, go at it, then fantastic. The more that comes in, the better. How ironic. We could actually make profit off of Nico Jackson, right? Right, Beluco? That's what we do? Yeah? Well, there we go. That's one that I can actually say, you know what? Go and make some profit here. I'm on board because I can't go any further with Nicolas Jackson. I just can't. And it's not like he's a top footballer with a discipline problem. No. We've seen on a footballing level, it's average at best. We've seen what his first touch can be like. We've seen what his lack of finishing can be like. We've seen that he's got no presence in the air, how he can be dominated physically. We know all of this. Hence why there is even a remote amount of excitement on Liam Delap, because you immediately know in some areas he's better. And that's Liam Delap. That's not even a top striker coming in that's going to light the place up and whatnot. We know there's already some reservations on how far can Liam Delap go right now because we know he's still raw. That tells us everything you need to know about Jackson in the first place. Oh, he can link up from time to time. Great. Welcome to Chelsea Football Club. If you can't even do that bare minimum, you don't belong at this level whatsoever. But on top of that, we've seen that average form and we've seen his ill discipline. We've seen this mistake happening time and time again, and now twice in a row in the exact same manner. It's crazy. It's chaos. It's a suicide. We're shooting ourselves in the feet here by relying on him. That's how it is. So for me, it's broken. It's broken. Like when you shatter a vase, a glass vase, right? And it smashes to pieces. You try to put it all back together. Bruv, it's smashed. You can't do it. It's impossible. You got to go and get a new one. You have to. This is the same situation here. It's smashed. Can't put it all back together. For me, it's broken. So, we'll see if Juventus and Napoli can get something going. That would be very much appreciated. Let me know your thoughts on Nicolas Jackson. Where do you think it's all going to end up going? And would you sell him? Would you not? Are you in the camp that goes, no, it's okay, he's going to learn from this? Or do you see it like I do? Let me know down below. I'd love to know your opinions. Much appreciated. Let's move to the second and final piece of the day in relation to Chelsea. Here it is. Fabrizio said Chelsea are planning for Emegha to be part of their squad from summer 2026, as revealed in May. Emegha is also expected to stay at Strasbourg this summer and then join the Chelsea project next year if all goes to plan. No confirmation on reports about Juventus move. So, this one is actually a weird one, okay? And there's 2 sides to this. There's the one side that, look, we're still going down the same model, aren't we? We're still going down the same route. Potential, ceiling, youth, all of this, right? Promise. What they can do in 2 years and 3 years from now. Not what they can offer right now. And he's going off to Strasbourg, cool. For him, that's a good thing. I wouldn't want him to come into Chelsea immediately. But what I will say, because I have to be fair here, his numbers so far have actually, and for his age, for his level, have actually been good. This isn't like a striker that's had 40 appearances and scored 8. Like, no, go and look at his numbers. They're actually good. But he's not ready to just walk into Chelsea. So if we're taking this approach of, okay, you spend a season at Strasbourg, we're going to evaluate you even more, we're going to see what happens, cool, and then we'll go from there. Then we'll see. But my concern is that, bearing this in mind, that's going to also stop Chelsea from going and getting a top striker now, because we're looking at him going, he's coming later, so we can just do with Liam Delap and that's it. That's my problem. That's my problem. We're already coming to an assumption of what it's going to look like in 2 to 3 years without actually knowing it for certain. And Emegha is an example of that. Why? What? Because the data says so. Like, we need certainties. And we need players that are going to be role models that can come in for the here and now and help elevate the levels and start mentoring the young players to show them how to get up to speed to a certain level. That way, when they take the baton, they can run with it, not just walk. I hope that makes sense. And I think in turn, that helps a player like Emegha, who so far has looked like he's been doing good. But I don't also want this to turn into a situation like we've seen with Petrovic, or like people are worrying is going to happen with Santos. Looks really good, gave the time, good development, is on loan, fantastic, great performance. Come to Chelsea, no sign of him. No sign of him. We're going to try and make money off him. Oh, great. I don't want that happening. Do you know what I mean? This is the worry and concern that there is when we start hearing about things like this. Another example being Emegha. And at the same time, we're not actually going to address what the team actually needs for the here and now. That's the concern. So, are we just trading? Are we just here for the money only? Or are we actually paying attention to what this team actually needs for now? Not for 3 or 4 years from now. Because we've already done a lot of that without certainty. Is there? See. What do you think? Let me know down below on what you think on Emegha as well. I'd love to know your opinions. And I'll catch you later on. Tonight, video number 2. We will get into that. So make sure you're there. Subscribe, notification bell on. Much appreciated. And I'll catch all of you then. Have a good one, people. Look after yourself. See you later. Take care and peace.